I'm Amit, and today we'll be talking about the culture of self-betterment. Self-help books, coaches, gurus, mentors, self-development has taken over the Western world. We'll be focusing on the industry of self-betterment, whether it's really helping people or is it just a money machine? Are self-proclaimed gurus legitimate, or should the industry be more regulated? To answer all those questions, let's go to the studio and meet our guests. All right, so let's welcome our guests for today. We have two bloggers, Amit Hershkovitz, hello to you.
Hi, how are you?
And Julian, thanks for coming in.
Hi, how are you?
So I'm not gonna bug you guys too much when we're starting right now. We're gonna jump right in to our post of the day by Marie Semlin about the booming self-help industry.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Coaching is the new religion. Around the world, self-improvement books are the top-selling literature, teaching us how to network and influence people, how to find a soulmate without losing your soul, the noble art of seducing women, how to dress your best, how to find a good job in 90 days, how to find your mission in life, how to be a good boss, and how to say no if you don't want to say yes. Even the famous TEDx has a talk on how to say no. Today, everything is possible. At least that's what modern society teaches us. And if you dress bad, have a boring job, or you can't say no to your friends, are only passionate about Grey's Anatomy, or you don't have a transcendental goal in life, then it's your fault and no one else's, and you're a big loser. And the business of teaching you how to be a winner is very good. The coaching market rolls $11 billion in the States alone, including books, tapes, seminars, websites, and so much more.
Is totally number one.
When it comes to coaches, it's hard to know exactly how much money they make and who they are because the job is totally unregulated. They can also call themselves anything from consultants to trainers or whatever they choose. The king of the crew is Oprah Winfrey, the queen of American talk shows, who has made a fortune through giving out life advice, endorsing books and coaches, and producing shows like her most recent one called Life Class, where she talks about, well, everything. And if you rather read than watch videos, there's always this book, How to Dress, Speak, Behave, Eat, Drink, Entertain, Decorate, and Generally Be Better Than Everyone Else. Perhaps a simpler and cheaper option is this IKEA mirror, which gives you self-compliments every morning.
All right, so we've all seen all these ads, you know, the self-help industry is a huge industry. You walk into a bookstore, the self-help aisle is often bigger than the rest of the store. Is it an industry, or are these people really interested in helping people?
Well, obviously there's a wide range of different kind of characters in this industry, and some of them have maybe simplistic but valuable ideas to spread. But I think that most of them have one view about what is an individual and what is the relationship between a society and the individual, and it can come to harmful points of victim blaming very often. Yeah. But we have to be careful. I think we've seen a lot of persons here, a lot of characters, and we shouldn't judge them as a uniform.
Well, obviously they're not all the same, but still, Amit, what do you think? You think most are really out to help, or is it self-help as in helping yourself?
Is it self-help as in helping yourself? Well, it is helping yourself, but I think what is interesting, I agree with Julian, there are a lot of people in this industry with different aims, different goals. It's important to see the values that every self-help book try to achieve. Mm-hmm. If we are talking about, you know, the last book, the Better Yourself, Your Money,
everything.
Yeah, have everything. That's clearly a joke. Okay, this is clearly a.
It's too good to be true.
No, it's because sometimes, you know, the convention is funny. People use it. They use it to shed light on some certain problems, right. You know, certain modern problems. But sometimes, you know, the really hardcore, how to get women. Mm-hmm, let's say this is the hardcore self-help, which I think we all can agree is kind of dubious morally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those kind of books, they are clearly harmful.
Well, all right. So let's go to someone less clear, the queen of self-help, Oprah, of course. Let's take a quick look now at a clip from one of her shows where she begins by talking about meditation, ends up somewhere completely different.
The truth is that when you meditate, it allows you to think about a lot of things and to clear channel for giving to others. So how about we meditate on this?
She's amazing.
She is amazing. She knows how to put a show together. No doubt about that. I have nothing under my suit that I can reveal at any point.
You want to get cards at the end of the show? No.
But is she really helping these people, or is she just, putting a show to go?
She's putting a good show, and she's helping people. I think she gives resources. She does. You mentioned the meditation that she's doing now. It's a free meditation. It's 21 days of free meditation that to give to people that otherwise wouldn't have the resources to do such a thing.
Yeah. And I think, well, obviously, in your eyes, Oprah can do no wrong.
Let me ask
Julian, do you think she's part of a false American dream?
See, I think it's. I'm very ambivalent about it because I think that the meditation is a very, very valuable practice which I practice myself, but. The depiction of it, totally misses the point, and the media is the message. You can't if you want to train people and meditate. If you make people to get it wrong, then you clearly are failing your audience. You're not helping them at all, because the goal of meditation is to find peace.
Well, it's much easier if you do it in your own car that you got from Oprah.
The goal is to achieve the right relationship with yourself and your environment, and not to attract material goods that will make you feel better. Yeah, I'm sure that Oprah understands it very well.
I think that I can say that it's pretty weird when Oprah whispered to your ear like meditation, guidance. It's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird experience. But I think that Oprah's values are not, as you suggest, just materialistic.
But then
we'll come back to it. Let's watch this interview now from PBS's 2010 series, This Emotional Life, with Dr. John Norcross, a clinical psychologist and expert on self-help resources. Here's what he had to say.
A recent slew of books have taken the germ of truthful and helpful positive thinking to truly harmful proportions by claiming that our behavior, all of our life context, is a product of positive thinking. We are damning people. We are telling them their cancer somehow must have been caused by your failure to think. Your sexual assault must have been rooted somewhere in your internal doubts. So we begin literally blaming the victim of environmental realities, of the most heinous of crimes, for things that have nothing to do with their thinking.
Yeah, so you touched on this, Julian, because we're seeing now that the self-help industry can only, it's not that it can just end up not helping someone, it can actually make the situation worse. So how do we prevent that?
See, the source of these highly exploitative practices and misguided messages is a misunderstanding. Yes, the idea that the world that I'm experiencing is a product of my emotional state and thoughts doesn't mean that that I can attract or get bad stuff out of my life. And these people, that some of them misunderstand it, and other characters might just as well exploit this misunderstanding. So we have to draw a very clear line here, and it's not hard to notice.
I mean, how can we tell the difference?
I think it's a very powerful tool to understand that reality is not objective. It's what you perceive of it, and I think we can agree on that.
Yeah,
just a second.
Of course.
I want to hear.
And I think that it's very easy to see when someone is telling you. You can look at a bad experience that happened to you, like rape, and try to understand how you can make it not a positive experience, but how you can learn from it, how you can grow. Yeah, and it's very different to understand a different kind of message that is, you are to blame, and if you think positively, you won't get harassed on the streets, and that's a totally different message. Very clear.
All right, we have to keep going, so let's move on to our portrait of the day. Our reporter Yael Gaton went to meet Ariane Lev, who has her own institute and developed the Ariane Lev method of reprogramming the subconscious. Let's take a look.
Meet Ariane Lev, the founder, teacher, and practitioner of the Ariane Lev subconscious method, which both Ariane and her trained practitioners use to help people improve their lives.
Breathe through your nose. The Ariane Lev subconscious method is a method I've researched for the past 10 years. Its purpose is to enter deep into our subconscious and recode it in order to change our life reality. Feel that you are connecting to solar light. 95% of everything in our lives, everything that we do and feel and aspire to, come from our subconscious. Let's split into pairs and we'll start our relaxation exercise.
Close your eyes, relax. Feel the chair hugging you. Take a deep breath.
The Ariane Lev method can sound very complicated.
There are a number of algorithms, actually 17 algorithms that I researched, equations that exist in our subconscious that actually decide everything.
But for anyone slightly familiar with the modern language of self-betterment, Oprah, Dr. Phil, or The Secret, Ariane Lev's examples can sound familiar.
I can give you an amazing example. For instance, for an algorithm called love equals rejection. A woman had the opportunity to find love, but then the inner code that the brain reads identified the love as rejection, which made them reject the love.
Ariane Lev is a successful businesswoman. She runs an organization with a website. She runs a school to train people in her method. She treats people herself. She has videos, workshops, and a book. On her website, you can read about her training, where it says that she has a BA in the humanities from Tel Aviv University. She's been researching her method since 2001, has treated over 5,000 patients, and lectures around the world and in the media.
We don't treat people with psychological disorders like schizophrenic or chemically unstable people. We do treat normal people, people who may use antidepressants like most of the population.
Not everyone would agree with Ariane Lev's method or her professional credentials to help just anyone.
A psychologist or social worker won't make promises. A promise is as if you come to me and I promise to end your depression. I'll treat you and heal you, no problem. No therapist or social worker or psychologist would ask you to buy a package of treatments in advance. You pay for the meetings that you have. It's one thing to coach a functioning healthy person and a different thing to coach a person on the verge of a psychological breakdown.
The results have proved themselves. 10 years of experience, thousands of patients, 95% success rate. I have never met one person who it hurt.
All right, so first of all, I have to say that we did find Ariane Lev through someone who felt that her treatment changed their lives for the better. So we have to put that on the table. But with that in our minds, what do you think? Do you think that someone that treats people the same way she does, does there need to be some sort of regulation for this? Or can anyone just open a
I think that we have fairly well regulation, and I think it's impossible to eradicate nonsense from a free society. And instead of regulating and writing laws that might be just as well ill-informed, we would be better advised giving people the tools to develop a more advanced bullshit detector.
Okay. Amit, what do you think?
I couldn't have said it better. It's
wow.
Perfectly summed up.
If I got you guys to agree about something, I already did my part. No, but seriously, do you think this is happening, that these sort of treatments are so successful? Is it because of the failure of common, psychology, of...
Yeah, that's true. To some extent, that's true. I think what the success of these products is partially because it's recognizing the problem in modern society of having too much to deal with, that pressure of success. The good books tell you that you don't have to be successful in society's tools and society's...
All right, I'm going to cut you off because we're going to leave something for next week. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks, Amit. Thanks, Julian. Thank you at home for joining us as well. Do so again next week.